Hello, welcome to our news broadcast daily, and following are the headlines.
President pro tempore of the US Senate, Patrick Leahy, begins an official visit to Vietnam at the invitation of National Assembly Chairman Nguyen Sinh Hung. The Prime Minister issues a notice urging ministries and local authorities nationwide to intensify measures against measles, which has claimed 25 lives so far this year. The garment and textile industry rakes in $4.5 billion from exports in the first quarter, an increase of 21.9% year-on-year.
President pro tempore of the United States Senate Patrick Leahy on April 17th began his official visit to Vietnam. He was welcomed to Hanoi by National Assembly Chairman Nguyen Sinh Hung.
Vietnam's top lawmaker presided over a welcoming ceremony for the US guest. The two then went for a stroll in Ly Tai To Park beside Hoan Kiem Lake in downtown Hanoi. Sitting down for talks after that, National Assembly Chairman Hung affirmed to his guests that Vietnam attaches importance to its relations with the US and is resolved to implementing reached agreements in accordance with the spirit of the comprehensive partnership between the two countries. Chairman Hung spoke highly of the significant contributions that Lee and other US congressmen have made to heal the wounds left by war in Vietnam. He expressed his hope that the two countries will further these efforts, looking towards a new relationship in the long-term interests of both nations. The Vietnamese legislative leader said the current level of cooperation has yet to match both sides' potential. He suggested that the two countries' parliamentary bodies enhance their exchange to push for a swift recognition of Vietnam as a market economy. He also said the two sides should work together during the negotiation of the Trans-Asia Pacific Partnership deal to reach agreements benefiting both sides, avoiding decisions that can negatively affect bilateral economic and trade ties. Chairman Hung added that Vietnam wishes the US Congress to allocate sufficient funding to deal with humanitarian issues in Vietnam. He used the occasion to invite the US Senate leader to attend the 132nd Assembly of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, which Vietnam will host in 2015.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your hospitality.
Senator Leahy said during this visit his delegation, comprising both Democrat and Republican lawmakers, want to seek cooperation opportunities to strengthen the relations between the two countries as well as the two legislative bodies. He affirmed his support for the US's efforts in addressing consequences of the war and fostering ties between the two countries' people. Successes in socio-economic cooperation between the US and Vietnam are of special significance as they help direct and forge bilateral ties in the future, he said. The guest noted his hope that the two countries' young generations will build on the fruitful relations, thus meeting the aspirations of both peoples.
The same day, Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng hosted a reception for the US Senate leader. The US Senator expressed thanks to the Vietnamese state and people for their goodwill in the cooperation to address the missing in action issue. He reiterated the commitment to continue collaboration with Vietnam in surmounting the grim consequences in the country. Party General Secretary Trọng made it clear that Vietnam pursues a consistent foreign policies of independence, peace, cooperation for development, multilateralization and diversification of relations, as well as proactive integration. He affirmed that the US is one of the most important partners of Vietnam. The party leader asked the US to continue working with Vietnam to effectively address grim consequences, particularly the removal of unexploded ordnance and support for Agent Orange deaths and victims. Both sides laid emphasis on the importance of the cooperation between the two countries to peace, stability, prosperity, and development in the region and the world as a whole.
National Assembly Chairman Nguyen Sinh Hung on April 17th received visiting German Parliament Vice President Adelgard Buhlmann in Hanoi.
At the meeting, National Assembly Chairman Hung said the Vietnamese legislature has always supported the bilateral ties between Vietnam and Germany, meeting the aspirations of the two countries' people. He called the German parliament to back the country's businesses to further their reach in Vietnam, particularly in areas that Germany has strength and Vietnam has demand, such as health equipment, energy and chemicals. He welcomed Germany's selection of Ho Chi Minh City as a venue for the 14th Asia-Pacific Conference of German Business in November. The German guest spoke highly of the Vietnamese legislature's approval of the new constitution, which highlights progress and equality. She suggested the two countries' parliamentary bodies continue supporting and enhancing bilateral ties in future. She also called on the two sides to further their cooperation in such areas as energy and heavy industry, in which Germany is very strong.
State President Chung Deng-sang on April 17th sent a message of sympathy to President Park Geun-hye over the ferry disaster of the Republic of Korea's coast on April 16th.
The same day, at the Foreign Ministry's regular press conference, spokesperson Lê Hải Bình extended deep condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in the disaster. Bình said, Vietnam has followed the developments with deep concerns after learning about the accident and held a hope that the Republic of Korean government's search and rescue teams will soon locate those still missing. Also on the day, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Phạm Bình Minh called a message of sympathy to Foreign Minister Jun Byung-se. On April 16th, the multi-deck vessel, which had 475 people on board, suddenly listed, capsized, and then sank within the space of 90 minutes off the Republic of Korea's southwestern coast. 9 people have been confirmed dead, and 287, mostly school children, are still unaccounted for.
Leaders of a National Assembly's Committee for Science, Technology and Environment held talks with a delegation from Committee of Energy of Russia State Duma in Hanoi on April 17th.
At the meeting, Chairman of the Committee for Science, Technology and Environment, Phan Xuan Zong, said the Russian delegation's visit has contributed to strengthening the friendship, cooperation and traditional relations between the two countries. He affirmed that Vietnam always attaches importance to the comprehensive partnership with Russia. Vice Chairman of the Russian Committee, Levchenko Sergei Georgievich, expressed his delight at Vietnam's achievements in renewal, industrialization and modernization. He said in the context of the close collaboration between the two countries and legislative bodies, the two committees have also enjoyed productive coordination, contributing to strengthening the comprehensive strategic partnership between Vietnam and Russia. Both host and guest stressed the need to realise agreements reached in the past and share professional experience through regular visits. They vowed to share expertise in lawmaking and monitoring major projects while devising the details of joint work in the coming time.
The Institute for Foreign Policy and Strategic Studies under the Diplomatic Academy of Vietnam and the Vivekananda International Foundation of India have signed a Memorandum of Understanding on promoting bilateral research cooperation.
Director Hoàng Anh Tuấn of the Vietnamese Institute and his Indian partner Ajit Doval inked the agreement in New Delhi on April 16 in the presence of Deputy Foreign Minister Phạm Quang Vinh and Vietnamese Ambassador to India Nguyễn Thanh Tân. Under the deal, the two sides will seek collaboration opportunities in the organization of conferences and seminars, the exchange of information, research materials and programs, and the implementation of joint research projects. Deputy Foreign Minister Vinh held the traditional relations between Vietnam and India and said the MOU is the best way to enhance cooperation between the two countries' research institutes.
The Prime Minister has issued a notice urging ministries and local authorities nationwide to intensify measures against measles. The disease has claimed 25 lives, many of them children.
Cases of measles, which re-emerged in Vietnam last December, have been reported in 61 out of the country's 63 provinces and cities. The nation has to date recorded over 7,000 cases of measles this year, one-third of which is in Hanoi, according to the director of the National Hospital of Tropical Diseases, Nguyễn Văn Kính. The Prime Minister ordered the Health Ministry to improve the standard of treatment for measles patients in order to limit the number of fatalities and prevent further outbreaks. The ministry is also required to monitor the spread of the disease in Vietnam and neighboring countries more closely. According to the World Health Organization, measles is one of the child killer diseases. It claims about 370 deaths every day or 14 deaths every hour. The WHO pointed out that measles vaccinations resulted in a 78% drop in deaths between 2000 and 2012 worldwide. In 2013, Vietnam recorded 1,048 measles cases. 3/4 of them are in children under 10, 75.9%. Some 2,490 children have been diagnosed with the disease so far this year. The country is striving to eliminate the disease by 2017.
Nutrition examination and special treatment products for children under 6 receive special attention at the recent seminar on the draft revised health insurance law. Many urge that these services be covered by health insurance.
Experts said adding malnutrition treatment to the list of services covered by health insurance will be the best measure to provide timely prevention and treatment to all malnourished children in Vietnam. This, in turn, will ease the burden caused by the disease and bring the rate of stunted children under the age of 5 down to below 23% by 2020. Vietnam should give top priority to dealing with malnutrition among children, who are the country's future, they said. According to Tống Thị Song Hương, head of the Health Insurance Department under the Health Ministry, the draft revised law makes many amendments and additions compared to the existing one. This includes specific regulations on the responsibilities of communal people's committees and health insurance organizations in planning coverage for children under 6. Vietnam ranks 13th in the world in the malnutrition burden, with more than 2.5 million under 5 underfed children, most of them living in northwestern and central highlands regions.
The garment and textile industry has recorded impressive growth in terms of both production and exports in the first 3 months of this year, creating good impetus for the next quarter.
The industry raked in $4.5 billion from exports in the first quarter, an increase of 21.9% compared to the same period last year. Traditional markets for Vietnam's textile and garment industry posted high growth year on year. The EU market ranked first with an increase of 34%, followed by the Republic of Korea with 26%, Japan 14%, and the US 13%. A strong growth in exports of Vietnam's garment and textile industry in the first quarter was forecasted at the beginning of this year when orders created a breakthrough. Many businesses signed contracts to the end of the third quarter, even to the end of this year. In the first quarter, fiber export turnover also rose 18.7% compared to the same period last year, reaching $540 million thanks to an increase in supply of domestic raw materials.
More than 600 exhibitors from 23 countries and territories worldwide are attending the 2014 Vietnam International Trade Fair or Vietnam Expo in Hanoi.
The event this year is the 24th and also the largest of its kind so far. It has the theme of cooperation towards an ASEAN economic community and is considered a step towards the ASEAN community, which is slated to be formed by the end of 2015. The fair is an important event to assist enterprises in promoting export as well as developing local market. This is also a step of Vietnam towards an ASEAN community by 2015. This year, 6 ASEAN countries have joined in this event. Foreign enterprises, including those from the Republic of Korea, Malaysia, India, Indonesia, Cuba, and China, hope Vietnam will be a gateway for them to boost export to regional countries. This is the 16th time we attended the event with 62 booths. Now not only the Republic of Korea, but also other countries are interested in Vietnam thanks to its strong development potential. We also hope for opportunities to export goods to Laos, Cambodia, and other ASEAN countries. In addition to areas showcasing machines, electronic products and food and beverages, this year's fair includes a space for booths to promote investment in the industrial sector. Information about industrial zones and their preferential policies for investors are available to visitors. The fair will last until April 19.
And that concludes our news. Thanks for watching and see you next time.